Jack, as you know, you were right in the middle of it when it was announced recently that you had told Michigan that the continuation of their series each and every year was going to take a break, and it might be an extended break. Everybody has a school that they think Notre Dame should play every year. The fans of the other schools that you've played regularly always think, well, why are you dropping us? How do you come to those decisions, and explain a little bit why you have to make those decisions?
Yeah, frankly, while it's been difficult, and there have been some tough public commentary about it. It's, in one sense, it's really flattering, because in college football, the scheduling dynamic changes all the time, and you don't hear about it. But when Notre Dame says we're going to have to take a break, or we're going to have to figure out how to do this on a more infrequent basis, people react very strongly, and we're flattered by that, because it reflects how much they want to play us, and how important the Notre Dame rivalry tends to be to people, and we recognize that. And for every one of those institutions, we embrace the history, we value the relationship, but it's a limited inventory situation, and you have to establish priorities. And so we took all of those rivalries and we analyzed them and asked ourselves the question, how long have we played it? What's been the nature of the rivalry, the sort of the magnitude of the games and the history it contributes to the fabric of Notre Dame? And how do you establish a priority among them? USC was first for us because of the length of that, the tradition of it. You know, the number of Heisman Trophy winners who have played in that game, national champion teams who have played it, come out of that game. It has a unique place for us. When we combine that with a strong interest in making sure we are a national school and get to the West Coast every year, it meant you had to pair it with another institution. And for us, that's Stanford. We love the relationship with Stanford. We love the shared values between the institutions. It is producing some of the very best college football in America right now, and these two teams face each other. Had those two. And then you add the third of Navy, which is so important to Notre Dame and its history and the relationship, and the experience of our young men playing in academy each year and giving us the opportunity to talk about what that represents in America is important to us. So when you have 5 ACC games, 3 rivalry games you've protected, a commitment to the Shamrock Series, and then lastly, a need to have an unbalanced schedule to make this work. So ours is a 6-5-1 model. It's what everybody in the FBS does some version of. That means you have one home and home a year that you have available to offer anybody. That's your entire inventory that you can try and satisfy the other rivalries with. And it's simple math in that regard, but difficult conversations and difficult choices. And so what we've tried to do is spread them out. And you'll see in this schedule and then future schedules that I think we've done a pretty good job of that. You know, we'll play Michigan this year. You'll see a game with Michigan State and Purdue in this segment. We'll play Texas. We want to play an SEC opponent. So you've got to take that very limited inventory of one home and away series and use it the best you can.
So that means somewhere down the road, and these schedules are, in large part, you don't have much inventory in the next decade or so. But does Michigan come back someday?
There'll be an opportunity to talk about that. We certainly haven't figured that out yet, but it's one of the schools on that list that you'd want to. When you take the sort of general dynamic of only a single home and home, and then the commitments we already had that we have to meet. So, for example, we've already taken a home game as part of a home and home. We've got to do the return. We have 2 away games between now and 2021 that we can offer as a scheduling building block. So it's going to take a while to get ourselves in a position where you've got that home and home cleared, and so on 2-year chunks you can start to rotate everybody through it.